Hey, is it recording? Yeah. Hey, good morning. It's early, so my tone of voice is a little low. My uh, animations is a little low. It's echoey. I'm in the bathroom. Okay, so I would kind of like to talk about this pit I was getting into before I get into it, because I'm trying to describe it and tell as much as I can so it can be understood. Because I can't ask, well, I can't hear on the other side of the phone, like, well, can you explain this, or that doesn't make sense, you gotta say that again, you know what I mean? And it's not so much for me to explain it to y'all, but so that I can explain it, period, for myself. All right, okay. So this pit again. I think somebody woke up. So about this pit again, before I even got there, I think it was more so steps being taken. As I mentioned before, I think in the second video, I've noticed, you know, a little bit of pride, I would say, ego, where it was like, because I was doing my own thing in my own walk, and I seen what was going on in the environment as an opportunity to grow. And as I was doing that, again, this person that can be seen as a foe was really still seen as a friend. And so it's like, I got the gems on this. I got the lockdown. Let me give it to this dude. If you do it just like this, bro, I promise you it works. And it's like, I don't know if he's doing it. And if he is, he's half-assing it. So I'm just like, getting fed up in a sense. Like, okay. So we're just not going to try to associate too much with this, too much with that, Again, more so my flesh and those type of desires getting in the way as well. Like, this may sound crazy, but I believe I made the helmet of salvation a hard hat. And when I say a hard hat, a helmet is something that you can, or not a helmet, the crown of salvation. My bad. A crown is something that you can take on and off. Like, it's removable, you know what I mean? But after a while of, being around each other, I remember just having that crown of salvation on, just tinkle, 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 just hammering that thing in my head, because it's like, you know what? I'm not about to keep on playing with this tomfoolery. Whatever he gonna say is gonna ting, ting, ting. That's my mindset, okay, y'all? And that's how I feel like the pride definitely even more so stepped in. You know what I mean? Especially when, like, I just started, I don't want to say started arguments for no reason, but just not being able to bite my tongue. You know what I mean? Allowing my attitude to flourish. What? For an example, I'm sorry, guys. It's story time. uh, what? I remember one time, because he's always just saying things that's not so positive or supportive of me in most instances. And so he definitely, did his big ones here and there. But for the most part, it just felt like he wasn't. And I'm not saying that as if he's a bad guy or I'm a victim. You know what I mean? Because, baby, we ain't got time for that. But ground. But no, I'll stop. More so like, oh, my cousin's sensitive. You can't talk to her like that. She won't understand. Or how you would take a calmer approach with an autism child. That's all I'm saying is the way he approached me wasn't for me. It can be for somebody else, which I kept on trying to say, but it just wasn't for me. But yeah, the approach of things and the dialogue of things, which again I don't mind the banter and the haterade type of talk and your delusion type of talk. But it's like, consistently being around that, and then with somebody that you are thinking that you're supposed to be building with, and even if you're not, you got a child on the way, so something's got to be done. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to hammer in this thing. I'm not even about to play no games. Righteousness, right? I say righteousness. Salvation, salvation. That's all I have for him. Salvation talks. Anyways, with that being said, I remember with that being a thing for me, I try to use it as a attitude, a weapon in my way, not an attitude of God, an attitude of Kiara's, where, again, me and him always bantering back and forth, and how I'm this and how I'm that, and how I'm wrong and I'm stupid and I this and that, and it's like, okay, I get it, brother. Okay, whatever. You don't want to listen to it. You don't understand it. You don't get it. That's cool, because you know what? God says not everybody going to understand at the end of the day. You're just not one of them. The attitude. But it's crazy because I remember one time we was around each other, he on the phone with somebody giving them a big old speech that I be giving to him. And it's like, yo. I interrupt the conversation. I was like, I know you're not over there telling him that. He said, what you mean? What's wrong? I said, nothing's wrong with it. I said it to myself, to you, plenty of times. It never been heard, never been worked with, never. So it's like, why are you, my problem is not that you're saying it, but that you're trying to give it as solicited advice, knowing that's not how you operate, move, or work. Like, you are misadvertising. He was like, no, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a whole back and forth. But my point was, like, you're a slime ball, and you're trying to give holy advice with a slime ball actions. And it's like, if you're going to do that, be truthful. I'm pretty sure dude know he is slime ball. But in the midst of the conversation, I'm not assuming the other person on the other line may be a slime ball too. But I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking he trying to just mask up and be, I'm a perfect person. Sorry, slipped out. But anyways, I was thinking that, but I ain't gonna lie, the next day or so, I did apologize. Like, you know what? I didn't think. The other person on the sideline may have been a slime ball too and just loved it. Anyways, but still though, like, match the energy. Don't be on no fake stuff. Don't be sitting over here sounding like you Pinocchio turning into a real boy because you done learned the most things in the world because you watched it on YouTube or something. But let me had said it, I was just wrong, delusional, and just down bad. Okay? So yeah. I had attitude coming, building, you know, and as I was trying to grow it in God, it was just certain points where my flesh just took it, snatched it, like, nah, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. And it's like, oh my gosh, why am I in this situation? This is why I went to God. This is, you know what I mean? Like, just going back to the beginning of certain things. But it was just so hard to do because I had to go back to the beginning. And it's like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm already 18 months into this thing. Hey, I don't even want to try to go back. That's a little too far for me right now. I should have been in the game. It's too late. It's whatever. So that was the dropping, I feel like, because I'm good at self-hate. I'm good at, like, you know, over-analyzing myself and all those other things. So that was just the drop of it, I feel like. And as I was there, you know, still dealing with my child's father before the baby and even after the baby for like those first 3 months, which I shouldn't even freaking done. You know, I couldn't talk to God about anything, honestly, besides, like, you know, just doing a Bible study or reading the Bible, just being off track, ignoring what the problem really is how I see it and look at it and feel about it, because I felt like, again, I was self-hatred to myself, and I wouldn't even know this if I didn't talk to my dude Antoine. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Anyways, I was just so scared to talk to God due to myself, because it's like, yo, how did you get yourself here? Now you know God said this. Now you know God said that. And if you go up there talking about this.